Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for your coming. Thank you very much for your interest to Russian native breeds. It is a special cycle devoted to our native breeds in the framework of this webinar established by the Russian Kennel Club, the RKF. It is a special educational program named Responsible Breeding. So, and today the lecture is devoted to the Russian toy. Russian toy. The breed is recognized by the FCI, and to give you a deeper explanation and deeper understanding of some important points of the standard, I will use a model approach, which includes two models: biomechanical model of the dogs and harmonic model of the dogs. These models were built a long time ago. I started with these researches in the beginning of '60s, and in the 1985 it was finished by a mechanical model, and 2 years later I finished to work on the harmonic model. As you know, in the Soviet Union we have absolutely different breeding approach. It was planning approach. What did it mean? In each individual breed club should be elected breeding commission, and the only members of this breeding commission were in charge of the breeding program for each upcoming year. The number of the brood bitches was really huge, about 300 to 400. So you can imagine statistics we have operated. Only because of this very special time, very special statistics, and very special approach, it was possible to me to create these models. Later on, I have defended my doctoral dissertation on this topic, so everything what I will tell you today about this do represent not hypotheses, but scientifically proven facts, so you can trust it. So, biomechanical model. Biomechanical model is the integrity of several postulates. I will ask now to put on the screen these postulates one by one. Катюш, пожалуйста. Первый постулат. No. Это золотое сечение. Оно нам понадобится потом. This is the golden section, и все пропорции эти, они имеют отношение к золотому сечению. Мы можем посмотреть сейчас. So please take a look at these two varieties of the Russian toy. Short-haired, smooth-haired, and long-haired variety. This is how do they look outside, the conformation, which we can see now at the screen. Now I will ask for the first postulate of the biomechanical model, please. This is the general picture. This is okay. This is absolutely correct. Thank you so much. So the first postulate is a ratio between anatomical parts. Now I have to find the cursor.
Там, где обычно.
Ratio between anatomical parts of the spine actual back, loin, and sacrum is 2, 1, 1. When 2 units are for actual back, 1 unit for loin, and 1 unit for sacrum. As the actual back, I consider thoracic part of the spine, nothing else. This approach is basic for me. Attention to the proportion between the anatomical part of the spine, of the spinal column, led me to all results I am going today to tell you about. What can we understand looking at this picture? That the back is the longest part of the spine. Loin and sacrum are shortest parts of the spine. Why 2, 1, 1? The full explanation could be given in the framework of the harmonic model of the dogs, because here it couldn't be explained, but take a look and remember these numbers. They are very important for the further explanation. This is the first postulate. First, not only because of the order, but also and especially because of the importance of the value of this postulate. The essential explanation, some essential explanation to be given after I show you all postulates. I will come back to the first and some next ones. So please look at this angle. The first blue line lies along the median line of the shoulder blade. And the second one, the right one, oblique blue line, connects hips and iliac tuber. And in the point of intersection is created angle, which is 90 degrees. Don't look at the moment at the red line. It will be explained in the next postulate, because I combined here the both of them. So 90 degrees, I will call this angle, I will call it conditionally pendulum. So the axis, the pendulum is 90 degrees. This is the second postulate. Third one, please. The third postulate, named postulate of 2 horizontals. Shoulder joint or humerus scapula and hip lie on one horizontal line. Elbow joint and knee joint lie on another horizontal line. Please take a look. I connect joint here, but not ulna. This is important, especially in this breed. The name of this postulate is 2 verticals. Why did I put here another picture to be explained further? Maybe some more details, please. How do they create it? Look, elbow is under the withers, and knee or stifle is under the tail set. According to this postulate, length of the body from sternum to buttock and distance between front and the rear legs are equal if the dog is put in the zootechnical correct standing, when 4 legs are under the body and the rear are placed behind to the vertical rear pasta. And this picture is especially because of the difference. Look, this is the height at the elbow joint, and this is the height at the ulna. So, for the future explanation, it will be very important. So, please keep in your mind. Okay, thank you. We can come back to the first postulate. All postulates are result not the pure mind. Of course, mind was in functioning, that's true, but the practical experience was the cause why this postulate appeared. As I told you, the planning approach was based on the using of huge number of brood bitches per year, which gave a great statistics. That time, it was a widespread fault. I will not tell you about the details. If you are interested to know in details, I could suggest you to read my book, Dog Conformation and Its Evaluation, published in English. The book is usually available in UK by Our Dogs. Now I can give some comments to this postulate, which helped me to solve those problems which couldn't be solved on direct selection. So, long back or long thoracic part of the spine means long chest, long brisket. It is the basic length for the rib cage. It was proven that selection directed to this proportion led to deep chest, and it was the aim of that time to be improved. That means that the length of the chest influences the depth of the chest. But as the conditional length of the chest, I can consider the actual back. And that means that the selection directed to this ratio, this is was the first positive result. One more time. So, length of the back leads to the depth of the chest. And it was a feature we were needed that time very much. But not only. This postulate is really general index, because by using this postulate, you can get during your breeding several positive features: compact building, strong back, and in the first approximation, correct angulations, both front and rear. I highlighted here especially this one to draw your attention at this ratio. Very important. Moreover, length of the chest plus depth of the chest lead to a roomy chest, which is necessary for the best development of heart, lung, and general blood vessels. We do not consider maximum for the width because, you know, it would be bad for the front legs movement. On the other hand, it leads to the short loin and short sacrum. Short loin, when dog is moving, has the oscillation because it is the spring and it is the roll of loin when dog is moving. Short loin is oscillating with a small amplitude. She involves in this process the back part of the back, where the back is not supported by the breastbone, and this part of the back is oscillated together with the loin, and amplitude is the same, not a big one. If the loin is long, its amplitude is increasing, and amplitude of the back where it is movable support, because it is not supported by the breastbone, also ambling with a bigger amplitude, and it destroys back with the age and loading. So long loin is the first cause for the soft back. Something else for the skeptical minds. 211 is noticed here, but the number of the vertebra is different. 13 vertebra here in the back region, 7 vertebra here in the loin region, lumbar region, and 3 fused vertebra in the sacrum region, and then create different proportion in between. Don't worry, there is no contradiction here, because the sizes of all vertebrae are different. Here, here, and here. And this proportion, this ratio, 2:1, is not in the contradiction, I repeat it once again, with the number of the vertebra of 3 different parts of the spine. There are several ways how to explain the main sense of this postulate, but I would prefer to tell you about one of them. That's why, because of this slant, of this similar slant, contrary but similar slant of these blue lines, create preconditions for the equal steps of the front and hind legs. Front strides and hind strides, and they are equal. This is the one aspect. Another one is that the right angle determines the borders for the trot when it is extended. this swing of the limbs inscripts in this right angle. Two horizontals. Because of these horizontal lines, the spinal column, when dog is moving, can be horizontal. Why? Because these lines are oscillating in antiphases. They oscillate in contrary, and they mutually compensate oscillations of each other. This is the reason why the spine is remaining horizontal, level. And this is very important to withstand overbuild. I mean, when the rump is higher than the width. These two horizontal lines block this negative phenomenon. You can see that the upper arm and upper thigh, with their ends, lie on these lines. But the slant of these elements could be different. Like here, where is noticed how it is here and here, or it could be more slanted or less slanted, and here the same could happen, more slanted and more close to the vertical. And this is the very important thing, because of this slant, the angulation, front angulation and angulation of hips are depending. To make these angulations the best, these horizontal lines are not able. They can only determine the situation which is blocking the high rump when dog is trotting. But for the better angulation, for the optimal angulation of humeral scapula and coxofemoral, we will look in the second postulate. In this case, when the elbow is under the withers and knee is under the tail set, you can see that the upper arm is slanted backwards as much as possible. That's why this angle is approaching to the 90 degrees as much as possible for this breed in this case. It doesn't mean that it should be 90 degrees, but it is approaching to that angle. The same is here. In this case, you can see the stifle joint ahead regarding this vertical line. And that means that the dog is able to a little bit sit down on the knees, and that's why decrease the height at rump. So this is the way how to optimize meanings of humeral scapula and meaning of hip angulations. I will tell about it later in full details. Now I only noticed how it is important. Look at the left picture, please. The distance between shoulder elbow joint and knee. And here's the top line. They are almost equal in the length. Why? Look at the spinal column. They are really equal because the spine is horizontal. This slight sloping of the top line is because of the vertebra, which height is increasing, slightly increasing from the withers to the tail set. That's why this line, unlike spinal column, is a little bit sloping, but they are practically equal. What does it mean? That means that the top line has, in this case, special support on two joints. Withers are supported by the elbow joint, and the end of the top line is supported by the stifle joint. So this phenomenon is conclusion of this postulate named two verticals. Because of this disposition, length of the body and distance between front and rear limbs are equal, as I told you before. How it could be explained? Just a moment. Let us imagine that the limbs are deprived of any angulation, and they look like the legs of the chair. No angulations at all. So it's so clear that the distance between these two legs and the length of the body is absolutely the same. Now, let us come back to the reality. The body, because of the system of levers, is moved forward. And if you suppose that they will be moved forward on different way regarding hind legs and front legs, will lead to the different strides of front limbs and hind limbs. But these strides should be equal. Otherwise, balance when dog is moving couldn't be approached. So I think it's clear why these two distances are equal. I finished tell you about the biomechanical model, and have to repeat that this biomechanical model is very important for the soundness of the dog, because without a strong top line, without deep chest for many breeds, without correct angulations, both soundness couldn't be approached. Maybe the only one thing I have to add about the compactness. What does it mean, compact built dog? It is a widespread delusion, I would say, that the compactness is the same as the square built dog. This is wrong. Try to remember Dachshund. One of the most long-bodied dogs is compact. It is written in the standards. That's why compactness is based on the length of the loin. Loin could be considered in stance as a bridge between chest of front part and hind part. the shorter is loin, the closer are parts to each other. The longer is loin, the more distant are those parts. So compactness is adequate to short-coupled dog, namely to dog with a short loin. So I think we can go on and come to the harmonious model.
To the beginning?
Yes. No, I think we can go to the golden section. Why there is a harmonic model here? Look, biomechanical model gives us some very important things. I mean, reference points. I mean, proportions of the top line, how are placed humeral, scapula, and hip, how are placed elbow joint and stifle. It could be checked when judging, and it will give the judge the possibility to be more objective. These reference points are important in this way. But there is another viewpoint on the dog. It's harmony, because this ability to feel harmony and disharmony is given to the people from above. And my task, my purpose, was to find out those proportions which are important for the dog's harmony. I was lucky to find out those proportions, and will tell you the way how I could do that. For this research, I used golden section principle. Golden section principle is the universal form building principle, which influences on all sides of our life. A lot of examples could be given to illustrate this thought, but it is not the topic of today. Should you are interested in this subject, I would like one more time to suggest you my book. There you can find the chapter Harmonic Model. It was written there. And all wonderful examples, quite amazing examples are given there. Now about the golden section. Golden section as the principle could be formulated like this. It is a principle of division segment 1O into unequal parts, extreme and mean. The whole segment, which length is 1, this is 1, to its biggest part, x, this is the x, is equal to x biggest part, x, to the smallest one, 1 minus x. it could be easily transformed into square equation, and the positive root of this equation is what you can see in front of you. Square root from 5 minus 1, and all should be divided to 2. For the third approximation, we will find this number. If I will look for the more rough approximation, you will find this one. And the last approximation, the most rough approximation, is 0.6 or 3 to 5. Please remember this number, this fraction. We will consider 3 to 5 as the golden section instead of this exactly number, because for our practice, when we are measuring the dogs, the mistakes of our measuring exceed this, I would say, tail we ignored. That's why it is quite acceptable for all our further speech. There is another way how to find the same number, following the sequence of Fibonacci. I will not tell you anything about the story of creating of this sequence. It is also written in my book. The only thing I will do to show you how it is built. 1, 1, 2, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, and on. If I modify this sequence, look, I will divide each previous number to the next one. 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 8. It will like a miracle appear the same number we found here. Golden section is the limit of this sequence, and each number of this sequence, the more far away from the beginning, the close is to the golden section. But for us, as I told you already, 3 to 5 is enough. So it is found already here, like here. Now, I would say that we have a moment of truth. Please take a look at 3 red numbers in the beginning of the first sequence. 1, 1, 2. Do they remind you anything? If I will put them in the opposite way, 2, 1, 1. Yes. And this is explanation why top line proportions are determined by these Fibonacci numbers, because it is initial way to the harmony, and harmony is resulted by the golden section. But the first tune with harmony is based on these 3 numbers. And these 3 numbers are absolutely required for the top line proportions for the majority of the breed. I would say for the overwhelming majority of the breeds. Of course, there are some exceptions. But the Russian toy does not belong to this exception, so I will not continue this story. And my purpose was to find the harmonic proportions of the dog's conformation. And as I told you, I was lucky to do that. Now we can come to these proportions.
Picture
Скажите,
this one.
пожалуйста,
Cartoon.
пропорции. Да. Сейчас, минуточку, я налью воды. Sorry, I need to drink a little bit. This is the water, nothing else. First, proportion number 1. Depth of the chest to the length of the top line is golden section. Some more detailed explanation of measuring. Depth of the chest should be measured from the lowest point of breastbone to the top of the width. And the length of the top line should be measured from the first thoracic vertebra to the tail set. Length of the chest to the length of the body is the golden section. I have to repeat that I'm measuring the length in front from the sternum, not from the humerus scapula, because otherwise you will lose part of body. In case of Russian toy, this is a small part, but nevertheless, small dog and even small distance has a value. So, length of the chest from the sternum to the last false rib, to the length of the body from the sternum to the buttocks is golden section. Length of the body to the length of so-called diameter is the golden section. Please let me explain what I mean. I connect the occiput and foot of hind leg placed behind to the vertical rear pastern in the vertical plane. You can understand that occiput and this foot are located not in one plane, not in one vertical plane. So I need the projection of the occiput to the vertical plane parallel to the longitudinal axis. It is very easy to show when measuring and rather complicated to explain, but I believe that I found correct words for this explanation. Height at elbow I believe this is mistake. Mistake, because height at elbow is here. It is a joint. It is an elbow joint, and it is a ulna. So you have to consider this distance from the ground to this horizontal line through the elbow joint. To the sum of length of the head and neck is golden section. For the majority of the breeds, girth of muzzle to the girth of skull or circumference, if you like it more, is the golden section. This is not so much expressed in the case of the Russian toy because of the rather light muzzle. But it is a special case, and I had to show you all proportions. That you would know what is the integrity of the harmonic model altogether. Okay. Okay. I think that we can go now to the actual standard.
And then what to open?
Please open me these dogs. Now these dogs, we can look at them. Yeah. And
Those two dogs.
yeah, no. Look one more time. Look at this dog, for example. Look at this dog. And now let us read the standard. Now you can understand what kind of tools I will use reading the standard and giving the explanation of the most important provisions of the standards, most important points. Now we can talk with you on the same language. Coming back to the topic of our lecture, I read the standard. Brief historical summary. At the beginning of 20th century, the English toy terrier was one of the most popular toy dogs in Russia. However, in the period 1920 to 1950, the breeding of pure toy terriers was almost stopped, and the number of the dogs fell to a critical level. Only in the mid-50s did Russian dog breeders begin to revival of the breed. Practically all dogs which were used for the breeding had no pedigrees. Many of them were not pure blood. The standard drafted for toy terriers significantly differed from that of the English toy terrier in many aspects. From this moment, the evolution of the breed in Russia went its own way. On the 12th of October, 1958, two smooth-haired dogs, one of which had slightly longer hair, gave the birth to a male dog with a spectacular fringes on ears and limbs. It was decided to keep this feature. The male was mated with a female, which also had slightly long hair. Thus, the long-haired variety of the Russian toy appeared. It was called Moscow long-haired toy terrier at that time. A dog breeder from Moscow, Evgenia Fominishna Zharova, played an important role in the creation of this breed variant. It was during a long period of development in an isolated context, along with a specifically conducted selection, that a new breed was created. The Russian toy with two coat varieties, long-haired and smooth-haired. General appearance. A small, elegant, long-legged dog with fine bone and lean muscles. Very harmonic dog of good proportions. Sexual dimorphism only slightly defined. Important proportions. Fabrizio, nice to talk to you in Russian. Length of the body is equal to the height at width. You can see length of the body and height at width are inscripted in the square. Doesn't matter which variety, the same construction and the same format. In Russia, we call format when we are considering the proportion between the length of the body and height at width. In this case is 1:1, or if we multiply 100%, it will be 100 format. We used to use this terminology, this index, and according to our praxis, to our theory, we can consider square-bodied dog when this format is from 100 to 104. I believe now it is easy after I explained what does it mean format of the body. Of course, this is the ideal picture, like here as well. But if it is a little bit long-bodied, not exceeding 4% of the body length, we will also consider this format as the square body. Height at elbows is only slightly more than half of the height at widths. Very important thing. Let us stop at this point and discuss a little bit more detailed this situation. Look at this. This is the elbow, and this is the level of the joint. This is the joint. Elbow joint is located here, and ulna is located here. And the dog looks a little bit leggy, a little bit high-legged, because the depth of the body. What do I mean? We are saying deep chest if the breastbone reaches the elbow ulna, not elbow joint. And in this case, we can differ depth of the chest and depth of the body. In this case, distance from ground to the breastbone is slightly bigger than the actual depth of the chest. Even the breastbone reaches the elbow ulna. Now let us look at this from inside with all anatomical details. Look at this, please. This is the level of the elbow joint, and this is the level of the ulna. According to the measurement of Russian toys, the difference could be rather big for this small dog, from 0.5 centimeter to 1 centimeter, which is really big. So when we are saying that the dog looks high-legged, that means that we consider depth of the body. Height at elbows is a little bit less than the height at ulna. That's why height at elbow is located in the middle of this distance from widths, top of widths, to the ground. And ulna is a little bit higher, from 1.5 to even 1 centimeter. That's why the dog looks long-legged. Very important remark, in my opinion. The chest reaches the elbows. Elbows mean the chest reaches the elbow ulna, not elbow joint. The length of the muzzle is shorter than the length of the skull. When reading the standard in part of the head and in part of the proportions between muzzle and skull, we will read about some more details, and I will fix it. Behavior and temperament. Active, very cheerful, neither cowardly nor aggressive, always curious of the outer world, strongly devoted to its owner. Head small compared to the body. Light, lean, wedge-shaped if viewed from above. Occiput is not pronounced. I will repeat the text again. Wedge-shaped if viewed from above. Occiput is not pronounced. Skull. High but not too wide. You can see not too wide but rather high. Width at the level of zygomatic arches does not exceed the depth of the skull. With a slightly rounded forehead, the roundness should be pronounced but not exaggerated. Stop, clearly pronounced, of medium depth. Facial region. Nose. Small, well developed with well opened nostrils, black or matching the coat color. Muzzle. Lean and pointed, gradually narrowing to the nose. Shorter than the skull, from 1/3 to up to 2/5 of the head. How could we imagine 2/5? Let us a little bit change. 2/6. 2/6 is 1/3. This means that 2/5 is a little bit more than 1/3. A straight nasal bridge. Lips, thin, lean, tight-fitting, and dark or matching the coat color. Jaws, teeth, scissor bite. Level bite, extending to 2 or 3 pairs of incisors, is permitted but undesirable. Teeth white of medium size. Cheek bones, flat, only slightly pronounced. It's very visible. Eyes, quite large, rounded, expressive, well apart and looking straight ahead, as dark as possible. Eyelids are dark or matching the coat color, tightly fitting. The look is self-interested, clever, curious, friendly, and intelligent. Ears. Big, thin, set high. Erect, shaped as a high isosceles triangle, set slightly upward. In long-haired variety may be slightly directed sidewards. Long, lean, carried high. Body, top line, moderately and gradually sloping from the withers down to the tail set. Withers, slightly pronounced. Back, straight and strong. Loin, short, sufficiently muscled and slightly prominent. Croup. The croup is sloping at about 15 degrees to the horizontal line of medium width, sufficiently long. What does it mean, slant of the croup? It means that we connect iliac tuber with a sciatic tuber. And this line will be slanted according to the requirement, 15 degrees. But we have to understand what is inside. And inside are pelvis bones, iliac bone, and sciatic bone. These bones create one very blunt angle. If we look at the sciatic bone, we have to remember that here are fixed extensors, which are in charge of unbending limbs, hind limbs. If we consider iliac bone, that we should not forget that there is the place where are fixed flexors, muscles responsible for the bending of limbs. In both regimen, the hips should be functioning in the best condition, because this joint is extremely important for the movement. What I mean, upper thigh of the hind leg placed behind to the vertical rear pastern should create a right angle with the sciatic bone. This angle should be 90 degrees. It is mentioned here. It is not painted here. Another leg there, it is also placed behind. If it's placed a bit forward, then you can imagine the upper thigh of the hind leg placed forward create a right angle with the iliac bone. And in this case, it is also precondition for the best functioning of the hips when unbending. Unbending here and bending here. Sorry. Unbending in this here and bending in this here. So we have to understand what is inside of the pelvis and understand that the slant of these bones differs from the slant of the whole pelvis because of the definition. And definition is the line connecting these tubers. The only one thing I have to add, sacrum is the upper part of the group, because the group consists of sacrum, pelvis, muscles, and tendons located in this area. So one more time, sacrum is the upper part of the group. And unlike the group, it is a slanted just a little because it is the end of this top line. And the top line slopes quite a little from the withers to the tail set. Chest. The chest reaches the elbows or slightly flat oval, shaped in cross-section. As I told you, the breastbone reaches the ulna, not the elbow. Otherwise, it will be more massive chest, and it will be not typical for the toy. It will be typical for the miniature pincher, which is related to this breed was related to the breed in the past, but it is another breed with a more massive chest. And for Russian toy, this condition is correct. Underline tucked up belly and drawn up flanks, forming a smooth and nicely curved line from the chest to the flanks. Tail. Medium length, sickle or saber, without ring or kinks, set moderately high. In movement, it is desirable to be carried neither lower the back level nor lie on the back. Dog tail is permitted. 2 to 4 vertebrae are left. General appearance. Seen from the front legs are straight and parallel, set under the body when viewed from the side. Try to remember the correct position, the correct location of the elbow. Should be placed exactly under the top of withers. The height at elbows is only slightly more than half of the height at withers. One more time. Height at elbow ulna. Shoulders. The shoulder blades are moderately long and not too sloping. Upper arm. The length of upper arm is approximately equal to the length of the shoulder blade, forms an angle of 100-110 degrees with the shoulder. Elbows set rearward, so otherwise directed backwards. Forearm long, straight. Carpus raised, lean. Pastern straight when viewed from the front, almost vertical when viewed from the side, slightly inclined. Forefeet small, oval, turning neither in nor out, toes well knit and arched. Pads are springy, nails and pads are black or matching the coat color. General appearance about hindquarters. Seen from the rear, the hind legs are straight and parallel, standing a little bit wider than forelegs. Viewed from the side, set slightly rearward, so they are laid slightly behind the body. Stifted hocks are sufficiently bent in balance with the forelegs angulation. Now it's a time to say, what does it mean in balance? I have to repeat the postulates from the biomechanical model. The shoulder joint or humeroscapular and hip joint lie on one horizontal line, as well as the elbow joint and knee joint or stifle lie on another horizontal line. This is the correspondence between these two elements, with these two parts of the limbs. And elbow joint is under the withers, as well the knee joint is under the tails, and it gives the possibility for slope, for slant of these elements so much in the physiological limits that humeroscapular angulation and coxofemoral angulation would be optimal. So if these two conditions, I mean green condition and lilac conditions, are fulfilled, we can say about the balance between the front and the limb angulations. So you can see, I couldn't explain it without postulates of the biomechanical model. Upper thigh moderately long. Muscles are lean and developed. Lower thigh of approximately the same length as the upper thighs. Hock of moderate angulation. Rear pastern perpendicular to the ground and parallel to each other. Hind feet, the paws are arched and well closed. A little bit narrower than the forefeet. Toes are close cupped, not turned in or out. Nails and pads are black or matching the coat color. Gait movement: easy, straightforward, light, energetic, moderately rich. The top line is straight. No noticeable change in the top line when moving. Somewhat high in the withers is permissible. Head proudly held high, tail carried high enough. Before to explain deeper what is the correct, balanced, and sound movement, I had to remind you something from the biomechanics and add something. You remember about this angle, which is 90 degrees by the axis of the pendulum. It is time to say to you now that the center of gravity lies on the vertical line lowered from this point of intersection. And the hind legs from the opposite side are converging to the basic of this vertical line, reaching to the phase of support of the body when moving. This principle, named principle of converging powers, the actual explanation couldn't be given here because it belongs to the theoretical mechanics. But anyway, I can explain this principle easily. Try to imagine that you are standing in the bus. Where have you to stand in the bus with the minimum wobbling? Right, in the center of gravity. It's here. Something else about the balance and soundness of the movement. So this is the first thing. Another one, what determines balance, is the strides of the front legs and the strides of the hind legs, which should be equal in the length. You can see it's absolutely correctly painted here. And there is one more important detail. Eye of the dog and foot of the front leg when landing lie on one vertical line. It is not so difficult to understand because the vestibular apparatus is located in the ear. And the eye is a little bit ahead of this vestibular apparatus. So this condition provides equilibrium when landing. Now, the last one. These blue lines creating a right angle by the axis on the pendulum determine the borders of swing when dog is trotting. And we can say that the limbs are inscribed in this right angle. And coming back to the text of the standard, we can find as well that the top line remains without any visible changing. And the only withers could be a little bit pronounced, but it could be pronounced because of the spinous processes of chest vertebrae, which are higher, and the height is increasing towards the rump, towards the tails. At the same time, the proper spine remains horizontal. Why is it important? Why the horizontal position of the spine is so important? Because the motive thrusts of the hind legs are transmitting through the levers of the hind legs to the iliac tuber to be transmitted to the front of the dog along the top line. And if the spine is horizontal, that means that the dog shouldn't work for lifting of the center of gravity. And that's why dog is not tiring during this transmission. Thin and tight fitting coat, hair. There are two varieties for the breed, smooth-haired and long-haired. Smooth-haired, short, close-lying, shiny hair without undercoat or bald patches. Long-haired, body and neck are covered with the moderately long 3 to 5 centimeters, straight or slightly wavy hair. Close-lying hair on the head and on the front part of the limbs is short and close-lying. Distinct feathers on the rear side of limbs and tail. Ears are covered with a thick, long hair forming a fringe. In adult dogs, the fringe should completely hide the outer edges and tips of the ears. We'll have the possibility look at the pictures, at the photos. Should completely hide the outer edges and tips of the ears. Body hair should not be tousled or fluffy. Color, black and tan, brown and tan, blue and tan, lilac and tan, red with black, red with blue, red with brown, red with lilac, red, fawn, cream. The color of the nose matches the main hair color. Size and weight. Height at withers. Dogs and bitches, 22 to 27. Males and females, up to 3 kilograms weight. Preferable height, 25 centimeters. Preferable weight, 2.3 kilograms. Faults. And is usually any departures from the foregoing points and on. Timid behavior. Height less than 22 centimeters. Height more than 27. Long-bodied dog. Too much arched loin. Steeply sloping croup. Missing one or two incisors in the upper or and lower jaw. Semi-erect ears in the long-haired breed variation, if not caused by heavy and too thick ear hair. Soft ears in the smooth-haired dogs, weak lower jaw, piked or heavy muzzle, dish-faced or down-faced, inverted elbows, straight in front and rear, angulation of stifles and hocks excessively pronounced, low set tail, curled tail, spirally twisted tail laying on the back, minor bald patches in smooth-haired dogs, too long, loose or slightly waved body hair in long-haired dogs, tousled or fluffy hair, the absence of ornamental hair on the tail, small white spots on the chest and toes, 10 markings too large or with darking markings, disqualifying faults. Aggressive dog, overly shy dog, any dog clearly showing physical or behavioral abnormalities shall be disqualified, as usually. Overshot, double bite extending to the whole pairs of incisors, undershot. Wry mouth, absence of any canine, absence of more than 2 incisors in the either jaw. Tongue visible constantly when mouth is closed. Open fontanelle in dogs over 9 months. Short-legged dogs, overdeveloped and massive chest. You remember, yes? Semi-pricked ears in smooth-haired dogs. Dropped ears in long-haired dogs. In smooth-haired dogs, numerous bald patches more than 25%. Very soft, tousled, loosey body hair. Too long hair with a pronounced feathering on limbs and tail. Trimmed coat. In long-haired dogs, absence of fringes on ears and presence of curly hair. Trimmed coat on the body. Curly coat. Semi-pricked ears without fringes. Ringed and kinked tail. White spots on the head, on throat, above the metacarpus pastils, rare pastils, large white patches on the chest, presence of brindle markings. Any color is not specified in the standard. Size over 29 centimeters or less 18 centimeters. Weight more than 3 kilos or less than 1.5 kilos. And nota bene, as usually, male animals should have 2 apparently normal testicles fully descended into scrotum. Only functionally and clinically healthy dogs with breed typical conformation should be used for breeding. I finished reading the standard, and now we can follow to the photos. Before to analyze these photos, I would like to emphasize, I'm not describing the dogs. I'm describing the dogs pictured at the moment. And the same dog could be pictured in different moment and looks differently. So I am describing what I see. So it could happen if the same dog, if put the best or standing, looks beautiful, and the same dog put in the accidental stance could look absolutely different and could get another critics. So don't be surprised, it could happen. We are describing what we see at the picture at this moment. You can see the dog in front of you at the screen. Let us describe what we see. A little bit long-bodied dog with a correct depth of the body. You can see this there is the hair, and the breastbone is higher, and this is the ulna, and this is the level of the elbow joint. So the depth of the body is correct. A little bit long-bodied with a solid body. Head is in the good proportion with the body, a little bit too abrupt stop. High set neck, beautiful top line, slightly sloping to the tail set from the width, with a little bit arched loin, deep chest, enough prominent forechest, correct angulation in front, long foreleg, a little bit prominent wrist, Excellent construction of the hind limbs. You can see the shadow. This is the slant of the upper thigh. This is the stifle, and this is the second or lower thigh, rear past. Let me draw your attention on the bottom, on the sciatic protuberance. Look, it is quite prominent. That means sciatic bones of the pelvis have good length, which create good preconditions for the excellent development of the unbent muscles, extensors. So, and we can expect from this dog excellent drive from the rear. Drive or motive thrust, it is the same. I didn't say anything about the tail. Tail set on correctly. About the furnishing is also correctly developed. Tail is in the accidental position. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the furnishing is visible, and the shape of the tail is also visible. Coat on the body is correct. Color is correct. About details of the head, I can say in the edition that the proportion between muzzle and skull is also correct. This is the occiput. So it's practically 1/3 or maybe a little bit more, but it is allowed. So next one, please. In movement, two different dogs, two different movements. Let us start from this one. We can see almost square-bodied dog with a correct top line, with a correct depth of the body, limbs from the opposite side are at the swing phase, and they create a right angle if we connect these lines. I believe that it is not difficult for you and to be convinced that they create 90 degrees angle. The limbs from this side are very close to the phase for landing, to be in the phase of support of the body by this hind leg. And the front leg is moved forward practically until the vertical dropped from the eye. So everything is okay. Neck could be longer, and all the rest is correct. Unfortunately, it is difficult to say anything positive about this dog, except maybe the format, which is close to the square. Arched top line in the whole. Sloping group. Difficult to say about the depth of the body because at the moment we can only suppose, but probably it is too high leg. High stepped movement. This hind leg is also landing, and this dog and these limbs are suspended. In general, dog with a arched top line and sloping croup. Enough developed chest, high stepped when moving, not enough in reach. If you will try to connect these lines, this angle will be acute. About the head, stop could be pronounced better, and very poor finishing. Let's go on. At this picture, we have the dog, a little bit long-bodied, with a good depth of the body. The phase of movement doesn't give us the opportunity to say exactly what will happen at the next moment, because as you can see, these two legs from the opposite side are in the air. The front leg is not yet in the air, and the hind leg is not at the position when it will support all the body. But in general, at this phase of movement, we can say what we see. This angle is close to 90 degrees. About the length of the front stride and rear stride, we cannot say exactly what will happen in the next moment when the front leg will be landing. At the moment, this front stride is more than the hind stride. Nice head with a rounded skull and pronounced stop to the rather short mouth. Probably this is the young dog because of the furnishing. Furnishing is should be developed much better. Nevertheless, practically correct top line with a little bit arched top line, a little bit too low set tail. But in general, this is a quite nice dog, pictured not at the correct moment when we could say exactly about this construction and quality of his movement. Here is everything visible. A bit long-bodied, very high-legged dog with a correct top line correct top line to the iliac tuber, but sloping croup. Dog is trotting, and it is an over-rich trot, which means that the front angulations and rear angulations are not in balance. Moreover, we can add that this is a high stepping movement. About the head, rounded skull, short muzzle, darkened markings at the muzzle, and very light markings on the legs. Let's go on. I will not discuss in all details each photo. I will only tell if we can find some typical faults. High stepped. Top line is okay. Depth of the body is okay. Placement of the legs close to the face of support is okay, like unbending rear leg from the opposite side. So high stepping movement. Rounded skull, but a bit too much stop. Neck could be longer. A little bit low set tail. But in general, except this detail, the dog is quite okay. long-bodied, very high-legged dog with an arched top line as a whole, overbuilt, higher in the rump than at withers. Very low carried neck, rounded skull, pronounced stop, short muzzle. Angulation is not enough to provide the balance. If you continue this line and this one, you will find out also acute angle. And plus very light markings. Let's go on. This is a nice dog, very brave, with a solid body, excellent top line. He's pictured at the moment of the suspension. All four legs are in the air. So we can only fix what we can see. Excellent swing of the limbs, which is close to the 90 degrees. These legs are in the air and tending to be landed at the point exactly under the center of gravity. It's impossible to say about this line from the eye because of the phase of movement. Right front leg is in the air. The only thing which could be better is neck. Neck could be longer. Correct. Tail set and tail carriage, moderately developed feathering, and that's it. Everything what will be presented will be discussed. Okay. On the left picture, we see a long-bodied dog, straight in front, with a long head, with a strong top line, but loin could be shorter. A little bit over-angulated in the rear. Nice head and light markings. Correct tail set and tail carriage. Slightly long-bodied dog, with a solid body, with a good depth of the body, rather strong in bones, on the limit. With an excellent top line, straight in front, correctly angulated behind. With a head where the muzzle is a bit too long. Slight markings, light markings on the muzzle and on the limbs. Let's go on. Almost square-bodied dog, long-legged enough. Body is solid. Head is correct in size and in shape. Long neck, long enough neck. It will be correct, more correct. Correct top line. Difficult to say about the tail carriage because of the moment. Tail is still a little bit low set. Correct front angulation, correct rear angulation. Nice feathering. Here we can see high-legged dog, almost square-bodied, with a solid body, with a small head, enough stop. Forehead could be more rounded. Very long and dry neck. Excellent top line, tail set and tail carriage. Chest is deep enough. It should reach elbow ulna. You can see it is not like this. In the front, excellent developed. Should not be more. Correct angulation in front for this breed. A little bit too much angulation in the rear. How could I understand it. Do you remember the principle according to which I can compare the length of the body and distance between the front and rear legs if the limbs are placed correctly? This distance is a little bit more than the length of the body because of the a little bit too much angulated hind legs. That's it. A little bit long-bodied dog, just a little. High-legged enough. Rather strong in bones. With a nice head, high-set long neck, perfect top line. Tail set at the moment couldn't be analyzed because of the moment. Straight in upper arm. A little bit too much angulated behind, with the excellent feathering. But I think that this stance is a little bit artificial. If the dog lifted too high his neck and head, and that's why a little bit sat down on the stifles. And because of that, the rear angulations are looking a bit too excessive. Slightly long-bodied dog, long-legged enough. Head is not visible. Long neck, straight top line, correct tail set, enough angulated in front, medium angulated in the rear. Feathering could be better, but maybe it is young dog. Let's go on. Some beautiful pictures. We can see the shapes and in the long hair variety and in this smooth hair variety. It's beautiful heads in everything. I believe everything is visible, and I will not tell in details what all of us is able to see. Yes, let's go on. Slightly long-bodied dog, slightly, but maybe it is the effect of angle from which dog is pictured, because usually we used to see the dog from the opposite side. That's why we evaluate length of the body from this point to this one, instead of to measure from this point to this one to this one. Anyway, solid body, high-legged, with an excellent top line, a little bit low set tail, excellent swing of the limbs. They are inscribed in the right angle, almost equal in the length front and the rest rights, but we shouldn't forget that the three limbs are in the air. So, and it is quite naturally to suggest that at the moment of landing, the front strides in front and the rear will be equal to each other. A nice head with a rounded scalp, expressed stop to the short muzzle, a bit too short neck, and finishing could be better developed. What we see here, nice head with an excellent decorated ears, typical expression, not pronounced occiput, almost not pronounced cheekbones, short muzzle, according to the whole dog, bones are correct. Difficult to evaluate exactly because of the grass. Part of limbs are in the grass, which changes the vertical proportions. This picture, dog looks a bit short-legged. How it is in reality, I couldn't say. Enough extended trot, enough. Top line could be better, a bit too soft back, a bit too arched loin, and low set tail. Neck of medium length, a bit too long muzzle, and moderately furnishing on the ears. Tail is not furnished. Almost square-bodied, high-legged dog with an excellent balance movement in everything. Please let me not to repeat everything what I have already said about this. Furnishing could be better. Long-bodied, high-legged dog with a high-stepped movement. Top line is acceptable. A little bit soft back, small depression in the middle, a bit too sloping croup. Head is correct in size and shape. Big ears, but furnishing should be much better on the ears and on the tail, as well on the limbs. Trot is well extended. Difficult to say about the final decision regarding front and hind strides. These limbs are in the air. High step dog with the 3 legs in the air. Difficult to say about the final balance. High-legged with a correct top line, with a correct shape of the head, rounded skull, pronounced stop to the short muzzle, medium long neck, almost correctly set and carried tail. That's it. Furnishing could be better. One more time, dog pictured from the opposite side. We used to see from this side. This side is opposite. The dog is in the air. So we can say only about the top line, which is absolutely correct. Tail set and tail carriage. How will be movement at the correct stage? Difficult to say. But anyway, the dog is full of spirit, and that's it. Square-bodied dog, almost high-legged, a little bit, how should I say it better? Difficult to say because the dog is in the air, and I can only suppose this vertical proportion, but it seems to be not long-legged enough. Nevertheless, solid body, nice top line, a little bit low set tail, nice head, long ears with a good furnishing, medium long neck, chest is deep. About the angulation is difficult to say. We can only suppose, but probably still it is a high stepping movement. Also the same point of picture, same angle. Almost square-bodied dog with a solid body, high leg with an excellent top line. A little bit high-stepped, but like in the previous picture, all legs are in the air. Long enough neck, Difficult to say about the head. Enough developed feathering, and that's it. Long-bodied, overbuilt, high-legged dog with a good shape and size of the head, with a long neck. Top line is not perfect, should be stronger than back. Too much arch the loin, too much sloping croup, and low carried tail. Front angulations probably are okay, but rear angulations are straight. You can see the hind leg and this face is almost deprived of angulations. Also, the whole dog is in the air. Solid body, probably a little bit too long body. Difficult to say exactly because of this phase of the movement. Anyway, the hind legs from the opposite side inscribe in the right angle, and the limbs from this side approaching to the correct point of landing. Neck could be longer. Correct shape of head. Couldn't say anything about the size of the ears. Enough furnishing. Tail also enough furnished. Here, a bit long-bodied dog, solid body, strong top line, a bit too sloping croup, a low set tail, deep chest. Limbs are in correct position from opposite side and from side near to us, but swing could be better because this angle is not 90 degrees, a bit acute, so could be more extended trot. Long neck, enough developed stop, short muzzle, furnished ears, and enough furnished tail, as well as the limbs. Okay, a bit long-bodied male, but body is solid. Long-legged enough, with a high set and long neck and excellent top line, as well with a good set and carried tail. The dog is in the air. All limbs are in the air. That's why swing exceeds the limits determined by right angle. So it's difficult to say what happens when dog will be landing. A bit too light markings. Almost square-bodied dog with an excellent top line, with a deep chest. Difficult to say anything about whether it is high-legged, long-legged, or long-legged only enough. The whole dog, one more time, is in the air. Correct shape and size of the head, yes, with a medium furnishing, correct tail set, and its feathering is okay. Extended trot, well extended trot, you can find here almost 90 degrees angle, and hopefully the hind leg will be landing at the point exactly under the center of gravity here, because the foreleg is in the air, and next moment hind leg should be moved forward to step the base of vertical with the center of gravity. Neck could be longer. Very brave dog, probably square-bodied, probably because of one more time, opposite angle of picturing. Solid body, excellent top line, a bit too short neck, beautiful head, high-stepped and overreaching. Here, a bit long-bodied bitch, high-legged, high-set neck of medium length, strong top line, a bit too sloping croup and low-set tail, enough developed chest. Difficult to say about the angulations because of the phase of movement. Dog is fully in the air. Light markings, probably bald patch. Looks a little bit long-bodied, but it could be optical illusion because of the grass. Lengths look a bit shorter than they are in the reality. Solid body, well-developed chest, long enough neck, excellent head, extended trot with the correct position of all legs. This front leg is still in the air, it's not landed, so it's difficult to say about the final comparison of the strides. This one. High stepping trot. Solid body of dog is almost square body. Excellent top line, short neck, nice head. About the angulations, we cannot see exactly, but it seems to be that front stride and hind stride will be not be equal when landing, when close to landing. Could you please explain a bit about the different drive in movement and the logic behind? I need a special picture for that to understand what you mean exactly. Could you please give me the illustration? Then I could analyze and tell you my opinion. Go on. Which two pictures? Previous pictures?
Previous? Okay.
Дайте мне, пожалуйста, предыдущие
These two
картинки.
or...
Нет, предыдущие, вот
no.
эти. Okay. Excellent drive. I cannot say that drive is excellent. Look at the angulation of the rear. The hind legs is almost straight as a whole. You cannot see expressed angle of the stifle, and the hock is also opened. And here you can see the rear is placed behind, and nevertheless all angulation are expressed. It's a very big difference. Here you can see excellent drive and only sufficient. Yeah? Are you satisfied of my answer? I'm looking forward to, yes, excellent. Thank you. So, go on. Мне кажется, что мы уже видели эту картинку.
Не исключено.
Да. I believe we have already criticized this dog and this picture, so I will not repeat it. Rather small picture. Almost square-bodied dog. Also a picture from the unusual opposite side. Extended trot, just a little bit high stepping. Long enough neck, beautiful top line, correct tail set, and correct positions of the limbs at the moment when the whole dog is in the air. Nice temperament, which is visible. Let's go on. What can I do? So, a bit long-bodied dog, too high in rump, overbuilt. Well-developed chest, but I cannot say anything about the vertical proportions regarding the length of the limbs and depth of the chest because of the moment when dog was pictured. I can say exactly about the neck. It is a high set and long. Top line should be better, too arched in the top line, and a bit low set tail. That's it. Very small picture. A bit long-bodied dog with an excellent top line, long neck, nice head. Deep chest, angulations of the limbs can be only supposed regarding, let me see. It's very small picture and I have to see. I need another glasses. So, high stepped, front leg is still at the stage of support, and the hind leg from opposite side is not able to be landing. Excellent angulated the rear leg from our side. This is what I can say. What's on?
Here is the question. The comparison between these dogs would be great.
The comparison. It is a quite nice dog, and this dog could have, if it reflects a correct dog at this stage. According to this picture, it could not be higher than the very good, and it could be excellent. I think I have already analyzed this dog, but not this one. Probably it looks like a puppy. A bit long-bodied, with an arched loin and sloping croup, enough developed chest, high-stepped, and the head is a little bit turned, so it's difficult to say about the profile exactly. Maybe needs more developed underjaw to snipe it. Angulations are moderate, very difficult to say with more details because of the moment the dog is in the air. So let's go on. I think I have already told about these dogs.
Could be so, because this is a set of photos and additionally here.
A small picture of not the best dog. A bit long-bodied, with a curved top line, too arched loin, low set tail, and sloping croup. Dog is pictured at the moment in the air. Difficult to say about angulations and balance. long enough neck, excellent head, correct finishing. Also a moment in the air. How do we like to take pictures in these moments? A bit long-bodied, long-legged enough, dog with a solid body, medium long neck, a bit too arched top line, with a bit too low set tail, correct swing of the limbs, and the limbs from the opposite side at the moment when it's difficult to say what will happen at the moment of landing. That's it. Difficult to say about the vertical proportions, about the comparison between the front leg and depth of the chest. Head could have better stop, better developed and better expressed stop. Dog is in the air. The swing of links from the opposite side is quite okay. These limbs are in the air. And one more time, I have to say that we can only suggest what will happen at the moment of landing. Long-bodied, high-legged dog, a bit too long in the loin. You can see this shadow and understand where is the loin. This is the last edge of the last rib, and this is the less than the half. And this is the less, and this is less than 1/4. So dog is long-bodied because of the long loin, and it is not compact dog. High-stepped with a short neck, probably stop needs to be more expressed. That's it. Nice dog pictured not in the best moment. You can see the hind leg from the opposite side is not placed behind if needed for this gait. That's why the front leg is hanging in the ear, and the limbs from other side are tending to be at correct place. But nice body, solid body, medium long neck, nice head, correct tail set. As a whole, nice dog. Long-bodied, high-legged dog. I think that I have already described it. Yeah. I have already analyzed the conformation of this dog. Let's go on. A square-bodied, high-legged, overbuilt dog with a short croup, with a bit straight in the rear. High-stepped when moving, the short neck, strong top line, and sloping short croup. A bit too low set tail. Head is okay, and the moment is difficult to evaluate all details of required balance. Long-bodied, high-legged. Long-bodied because of the long loin, so not a compact built bitch. Head with enough rounded skull, good stop, a bit too deep and heavy muzzle, nice neck, correct top line until to the iliac tuber, a bit too sloping croup and low set tail. I will not describe the movement because of the phase of the movement. A bit long-bodied, massive dog. Look how massive is chest. Maybe it is the moment when dog is not the best picture. The whole dog is in the air, so I will not describe the movement. I can only repeat that chest is massive, that the top line is correct from the withers to the iliac tuber, but croup is sloping and tail is low set. Short neck, correct head. Let's go on. A bit long-bodied dog. Long-legged enough. Strong top line, a bit sloping croup, a bit low set tail. All limbs are in the air. A bit too short neck. I cannot describe the head because I don't see exactly head in profile. I believe this is the same dog, yes? So slightly long body, solid body, excellent developed chest, nice head. It is visible here. Neck could be longer. Strong top line, a bit sloping crouped, low set tail. Good swing of the limbs, which are almost inscribed in the right angle. Difficult to say about the final balance because of the phase. Maybe the front and rear strides could be equal, but it is only supposition. Almost square-bodied dog, long-legged, high-stepping on the move. Cannot describe the head, a bit too short neck, excellent top line to the iliac tuber, a little bit sloping croup, a low set tail. That's it. Not the face when I could describe all details of movement and balance. Solid body, deep chested, with a strong back, a bit arched top line and sloping croup, low set tail. All the limbs are in the air. Could not describe it. Could not describe the head. Don't see the profile. Medium long neck. That's it. Unfortunately, dog is in grass, so we cannot say exactly how is the proportion between the length of the body and height at withers. A solid body, nice head and expression, long neck, excellent top line to the iliac tuber, but tail is hanging, and I cannot say anything about tail set and tail carriage. Excellent front angulation, medium angulated in the rear, good finishing, long-bodied, overbuilt dog. Maybe it is exaggerated because of the wrong stance, but I can only say what I see at the picture. Nice head, very high set and carried neck, strong back, arched enough top line, almost flat, a bit sloping croup and low set tail, deep chest, straight in front, correct rear angulations, good markings, enough developed finishing. Let's go on. У нас еще много картинок.
Евгений Львович, у вас очень много картинок. Вот сейчас стойки, а потом еще головы.
So, A bit long-bodied, high-legged dog. Feminine. Arched forehead. The picture too much stop, but maybe because of the light. I don't know exactly. Medium long neck, pronounced withers. Correct top line to the ilian tuber. A bit low set tail and sloping croup. Correct tail shape. Good depth of the body. A bit straight in shoulders. You remember the shoulder joint, the elbow joint should be under the withers, and this is in front. Long-bodied, a bit too short-legged dog, bitch. Too long muzzle. Skull is a bit too flat, and stop should be deeper. Long neck, pronounced withers. The back and the loin together are a bit too arched, a bit sloping croup and low set tail. Straight in front. Look, where is the elbow joint and where is the withers? Where should be the vertical line? Medium angulated behind, and the markings should be, should I say it in English? A little bit washed out, and should be in more strict borders between main color and markings, here and here. Go on. Square-bodied dog with a solid body, with a good depth of the body, rather strong in bones, nice head and expression. I cannot see exactly the ears, their size, their carriage, and if they are fully covered by the furnishing. High set neck, a bit too sloping top line, medium set tail with enough furnishing, deep chest, too prominent for a chest for the Russian toy, too prominent, too much angulated in shoulders, correct rear angulation. Long-bodied, I believe high-legged dog, if I find correctly the foot. Body is rather solid, should be more deep-chested. Breastbone doesn't reach the ulna. Small head with pronounced stop, nice neck, enough developed withers, strong back, a bit too flat loin, correctly tail set and tail carriage. Absolutely straight in front. Upper arms and forearms create one straight line. A bit too much angulated in the rear. And color on the second thighs is washed out. Markings could be better pigmented. Feminine, a bit long-bodied bitch, high-legged, with a solid body, nice feminine head, correct ears, regarding the size and carriage. Dry, high-set neck, enough developed withers, strong back, a bit too sagging top line, loin. Should be arched, and loin is even not flat by sagging. This is the fault. Correct croup. Correct front and rear angulations. Good shape of the chest. This is the fault. All the rest is quite okay. The dog on the right picture is standing artificially, almost set on the rear legs. A bit long-bodied, deep-chested, long-legged enough, a bit too long muzzle. Neck is high-set and a bit too thick in the region of throat. Deep chest, straight in front. Rear angulation look artificial. Sloping croup, I have to add. Nice dog. Almost square-bodied, solid body, excellent top line, deep chest reaching the ulna. Nice head, long enough neck, high set, good front angulation, a little bit too much angulated behind. This is the upper thigh, this is the second thigh. Second thigh is a little bit too long. Let me draw your attention at one statement I didn't use yet now. Look, neck, shoulder blade, and upper arm create liver, and neck and upper arm handles of this liver. And now please connect these joints, elbow and stifle, and try to imagine the virtual line in between, and try to imagine new liver created by upper arm, this virtual segment, and second thigh. In this case, when I consider the first liver, neck and upper arm were slanted similarly, and their length was also very equal to each other. Here we had to have the same situation, but look, it is one handle of the liver and this is another one, and they are different regarding the slant and length. Upper arm is much shorter and not so slanted as the second thigh. That's why I have the objective reason to say that the second thighs are a bit too long. Okay, this one. Long-bodied bitch, high-legged, with a bit too rounded skull. I don't see the end of the muzzle. I cannot say anything about the proportions between muzzle and skull. Long neck, medium set, correct top line, tail is hanging, so I cannot say about its natural set on and carriage. Enough angulated in shoulders, too much angulated behind. And do not forget the criterion I told you before and already used when analyzing one dog picture. Distance between front and rear and length of the body should be equal, and this distance is more, and this is because of the too much angulated rear. Light markings and dark mask. High-legged bitch, a bit long-bodied because of the long loin. You can see this is the last rib, and this is the iliac tuber. This part is loin, and loin is much longer than the sacrum. Fortunately, the thoracic part is correct because of this point, which is in the middle of the top line. But loin is too long and a bit too flat. Good depth of the body. Head is in general correct, but stop could be better pronounced. Too wide markings. Excellent front angulation. Difficult to say about the angulation of the rear because this rear is placed behind, too much behind. This is a black and tan dog, but the whole foreleg and almost whole second thigh are not black, should be black. We have already analyzed this dog in the beginning. Long-bodied, long-legged enough. Is it a bitch? Yes, bitch. With a solid body, with an excellent top line, with a deep chest, correct head, cannot see exactly about the size of the ears. They look very much directed sidewards. High set neck of medium length. Excellent front and rear angulations. The problem is the length of the limbs. A bit too short. This one. Almost square-bodied, probably bitch. Solid body, high-legged enough. A bit too long muzzle, high set, long neck, correct top line. Tail, unfortunately, is hanging, so I cannot describe its set and carriage. Correct front angulation. And the picture, the rear angulation look a little bit too much angulated, but my feeling is that the dog is standing artificially, so I will not tell about this for sure. Correct feathering, slightly long-bodied, quite long-legged dog, with a rather solid body. The stop could be better expressed. Not too much abrupt, but still better. medium long neck, correct top line from the withers to the tail set, correct tail carriage, deep chest, a bit straight in front. Look, where is the elbow joint? It is here. And where is the withers? And remember the vertical line lowered from the withers to the ground, which should cross the elbow joint. And try to remember, why did I say to you that you have a reference point giving you the possibility, better objectivity, because you can exactly show the points which are not at exactly position. Correct rear angulations, a bit too light markings. A long-bodied, high-legged dog. Long-bodied because of the loin, and in this case, it's very visible where's the end of the back, light last rib. Look, it is not the middle, it is a less. And this is the loin region, and this is the sacrum region. Long is loin and sagging. Deep chest, nice head. Dex is standing artificially, looking up. That's why the neck is set practically vertically. Difficult to say exactly about the shoulders because of this neck set and carriage. A bit straight in front and a bit too much angulated behind, but the stance is artificial. Light markings. Long-bodied, long-legged enough. Bitch. Solid body with an excellent top line, tail set and carriage. A bit too long muzzle. Nice long neck. Excellent developed chest. Straight in front. A bit over-angulated behind. You can see that the rear pasterns are slanted a little bit forward instead of to be upright. Enough pigmented markings. So let's go on. I described already this dog. This dog should be more high-legged, compact, solid body with an excellent top line and deep chest. Nice head, even it is a bit too turned to the handler. Nice set, long neck, perfect top line, a tail set and tail carriage. Excellent angulations in front, a bit too much angulated behind. Okay, long-bodied because of the long loin, high-legged bitch. A bit too flat over skull and forehead, particularly. A stop should be deeper and better. Too long neck, too thin in the region of throat, pronounced withers, strong back, slightly arched loin, but should be shorter, and correct croup tail set and carriage. Deep chest, prominent forechest, correct angulation in front, a little bit too much angulated in the rear, and blackened markings. This one. A bit long-bodied. I don't know, probably this is the male. Should be more long-legged. Solid body, sloping top line, deep chest. Nice head, arched neck, excellent angulations both. Nice feathering. A bit long-bodied bitch, high-legged, with the excellent top line and depth of the chest. Nice shape of the hair, of the head. Cannot say anything about the ears, except of the furnishing, excellent developed. Correct angulation both front and rear. Good furnishing. This one. Almost square-bodied, high-legged dog. Head with enough rounded skull. Nice neck, developed with us. Excellent top line, tail set and tail carriage. Deepest chest. Chest is deep, but breastbone should be longer. A bit too straight in front. Correct rear angulation. Enough pigmented markings. Almost square-bodied, long-legged enough dog. Solid body, excellent top line, deep chest, excellent front angulation, enough rear angulation. Why enough? Because you can see stifle and hook. A bit too straightened, these angles. I cannot say anything about the neck because it is not in profile. Nice expression, rather big ears, fully covered by the feathering. Only can repeat that top line is nice and front angulation is excellent. Two things. Could be longer forelegs and better rear angulations. This was already described. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Not the best position of the dog and not the best angle of the photographer. What can I see here? I can see here a bit long-bodied dog or bitch with a solid body, excellent top line and deep chest. Nice head, artificially too high carried neck, and that's why straightened in front. The rear are standing artificially. Too much bent in stifles and in hocks. Good finishing. Rather high leg, cannot confirm because of the grass. Rather high-legged, square-bodied. Nice head, big ears, fully covering with the feathering. Nothing about the neck. Nice top line. Nothing about the tail carriage and tail set. Deep chest, correct angulation, either in front or in the rear. Good feathering. Okay, let's go on. A bit long-bodied, long-legged enough. I think bitch. Solid body with the excellent top line. Nice head, long, high set neck. Excellent developed chest and fore chest. Enough angulated in front. Correctly angulated behind. Nice finishing. Almost square-bodied dog. High-legged enough. Head with a little bit too flat over the skull and particularly forehead. Neck is long enough, developed with us. some depression after the withers, strong enough back, arched top line, a bit low set tail, deep chest, enough front angulation, a bit artificial standing their rear limbs. Excellent feathering of the ears, tail is not visible. Slightly long-bodied bitch with a solid body, long-legged enough, nice feminine head, a bit too much directed sidewards ears, nothing about the neck, excellent top line, tail set, tail carriage, deep chest, excellent angulations both. A bit too long-bodied bitch, solid body, nice head, a bit too short neck, almost horizontal line instead to be slightly sloping, high set tail, deep chest, a bit straight in front, correctly angulated behind. Good furnishing. Go on.
I'm done.
Катюш, меня намного еще уже, или еще даже не знаю, что сказать, не
10
хватит.
страниц осталось.
Это много.
Ну, мы можем остановиться в любой момент, потому что это просто как бы дополнительные фотки. Как еще?
I will not describe this dog because of the angle of photo. It would be not correct. Almost square-bodied, let me see if it is the dog or bitch. Invisible. Okay. Slightly long-bodied toy with a solid body, long-legged enough, nice head, a bit too much directed sidewards ears, with enough furnishing, nothing about the neck, excellent top line, deep chest, a bit too straight shoulders, correctly angulated behind, good markings. That's it. A bit long-bodied, long-legged enough, bitch, solid body, nothing above the head, nice neck and top line, a bit low set tail, deep chest. Chest for the Russian toy is prominent a bit too much. Correct front angulations, correct rear angulations, good finishing. A bit long-bodied bitch, compact enough. The loin could be shorter. Too small picture that I could say exactly about the length of the muzzle. It looks a little bit too long, but I don't know if it is correct. A nice arched neck, pronounced withers, strong back, a bit too arched, but a bit too long loin, sloping croup, low set tail, chest is deep, breastbone is a bit too short. Line should be not so abruptly curved towards the flanks. Straight in front, nothing about the rear angulations because the rear is placed behind the body too much. But in general, very feminine bitch. I would prefer to see her when moving. Long-bodied, a bit short-legged bitch or male, I don't know. Solid body. Head is not clearly visible. Long neck, developed withers, strong back, a bit arched loin, sloping croup, nothing about the tail set and tail carriage. deep chest, enough angulated in front, correctly angulated in the rear, enough finishing. Square-bodied, long-legged enough. I cannot see exactly because of the very small size. It seems to be a bit too wide in the skull, too much directly sidewards ears. Nothing about the neck, excellent top line and tail set, deep chest, enough angulated in front, should be better angulated behind. Good finishing. Long-bodied, deep-chested, long-legged enough. Dog with a bit too strong bones. Head is masculine. Muzzle is a bit too long. Corners of the lips are a bit too wet, a bit too short neck, correct top line, deep chest, enough angulated in shoulders, correctly angulated behind, well finishing. I couldn't say anything about this picture except the head. Head is nice. Yes, are big and correctly directed, well covered by the feathering. This dog, what is the color? Difficult to say about the color because the color transmission is wrong. So I will not concern the color. I will also describe the construction. Square-bodied, I believe this is the beach. Square-bodied beach, long-legged enough, solid body, enough pronounced stop, medium long neck, excellent top line, nothing about the tail set and tail carriage, deep chest, correct front angulations, but soft pasterns. Correct rear angulations, well feathering. Okay, what else?
And now heads, and I think we can stop.
We already saw these pictures.
Yeah.
Nice pictures, nice expression, nothing else. Very typical. Try to imprint the same here. Very nice heads, very nice expression. A little bit asymmetrical ears carriage.
Mm-hmm.
This is nice. Maybe a bit too large eyes, but nice regarding the furnishing. Very typical expression. Nothing about the proportions because of the angle. Excellent feathering of the ears. The same is here. And you can see here that the occiput is not pronounced. Typical expression. What else? Also, angle is very difficult to describe correctly, the head. Probably everything is nice, but I cannot see anything about the correct profile. I mean, how do they compare in between skull and depth of the muzzle? Difficult to say. Here is very nice. Here is very typical. Rounded forehead, pronounced stop, short neck in good proportion to the skull. Only markings are too light, especially in the comparison of the bears.
And the last one.
I cannot believe.
Me too.
Nice heads. Here a bit too large ears, a bit too large. And the hair around the ears should be presented a little bit bald. But the shape is nice, and ears position is correct, as well as the size. The same is here. Markings could be darker and better pigmented. Что теперь, Катюша?
You can say goodbye to your audience. Very crazy.
My crazy friends. So, best regards from your crazy lecture. I believe that this webinar could bring you more knowledge and could clarify your opinions about the specific of the Russian toy. I believe that this is a beautiful breed with a great future, and it depends on you. So please try to do all your best, and see you later.
See you next
Thank you very much.
Tuesday with what?
Yes, let us think what what is going to be the next one.
Dear friends, thank you so much for attending, for your interest, and join us next Tuesday at the same time, and we will let you know which breed we will discuss.
Okay.
Спасибо, Евгений Львович.